Hey everybody, it's Chris with Invest LYH, and I want to bring you an interesting product that I learned about today that affects all investors in Lynchburg and in Virginia proper when it comes to 2 and 4 units. I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to discuss a 2 to 4 unit HELOC. Now, I'm going to put the link to the video below. It's based out of a company out of California, but they will lend in Virginia. If I could spell Virginia, and they'll do 2 to 4 units for a HELOC, 80% combined loan to value. So for those investors who are out there, you can check the link down below who understand what a HELOC is. I'm going to go through that, but a lot of you already know what it is, so you don't need to see this part. So the link is below, based for Convoy Home Loans out of California. And I believe in the video, the gentleman puts his name in there, so you can search him out and email him regularly. Let him know that you came from the One Rental at a Time channel, and also let him know that you came from Lynchburg, Invest LYH. So thanks for watching for you guys, but for those who don't know what a HELOC is, I'm going to go ahead and go through that right now. So a HELOC, I had to learn this because in like 2008 through about 2000, or more about 2010 to about 2019, a little bit in 20. What people would do is they would buy a house for 100,000, and the value of the house would increase, let's say 50,000. And what somebody would do is they would have the loan for 80 on it, right? So if this is the value and this is the loans, they would have an $80,000 loan on it, meaning they had put down 20K in down payment. Okay. So if the house increased by 50 grand, you could come in and take the 80% of 150 and get a loan on that. And I'm going to do quick math here on that so I know that it's not incorrect. So that would be 120,000, which means that 120 minus the 80 that you owe. So you have about 40 that is equity. Now, I mentioned the dates 2010 to about 2019, 20-ish. This would be a loan from, let's say, Bank of America. What people would do in these dates is they would do a cash out refinance. And what that would mean is they would refinance this amount, which would then pay off the 80, and it would leave them with 40K in cash. And this would be a loan from, let's say, Chase. Now, rates have gone up. So what that means is that this cash out refinance option does not work in a high rate environment with high rates. So now what happens is we have the same home that somebody bought a couple, let's say 5 years ago for 100K. We have a 50K assessment today. So if the property value has risen 50,000. So rather than go and touch that 80K at 4%, Because when you would refinance, that's the other thing too, is when you would refinance, this would be at, let's say, 4%. Well, when you refinance with Chase, it's at 4%. So it doesn't necessarily affect your income every month. But now we cannot refinance, right? We do not, it does not make sense for us to refinance it at 7 or 8%, the entire thing. So now what you need to do is you need to get a HELOC for that extra 40K. That is the new option to obtain seed money. And that's where Convoy would come in. They would assess the value very similar to what we said, right? 150 at 80%, which is the 120, which means we understand that 80 is used for loan one. So we can provide you with 40K in cash. And then you can take this, put it on a down payment for a new home, 40K. Let's just say 40K is a 20% down payment on a $150,000 home. Or probably 165, right? As long as it's cash flowing, you're good. Now, this is high level, because the other thing that you would want to do is, if it is used as a down payment, you have to understand that the HELOC has a payment. So if we are looking at cash on cash return, the income, the rent, would have to pay the mortgage. This is my calculation. 10% for property management, 10% for vacancies and repairs. And then we would have to add on the HELOC payment. And if it's still, for me, plus $100, then I'll do it. And why would I do that? So this is kind of going beyond the HELOC, but if I'm at $100 here, break even, I anticipate that to grow where my break even stays the same. Generally the same. I mean, taxes will go up a little bit, but I anticipate the point here to be 100, whereas over here, I expect it to be 300. Okay. So just a quick overview on a HELOC, but also giving you guys the understanding of that there is now an option for a 2 to 4 unit HELOC at 80% loan to value here in Virginia. So if you have any questions about that, you can contact me, but I would have you contact them as well, because they're the ones who are providing the product. Thanks so much, guys. You guys have a great day.